Joker here. I hope you enjoy this episode of Midnight Ramen, 'cause I don't.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Midnight Ramen. I'm actually throwing this one on the free feed because I didn't have a Monday episode on the free feed because the next one on the list is copyright protected, so it's on the Patreon. So I felt bad for you guys on the free feed, and I'm like, I can't leave you waiting till Friday. I got to throw something out. So I thought I'd throw you guys a bone. I'm gonna throw up a Midnight Ramen short on here just to keep your palate wet. Okay. That being said, you can always join the party. It's only $5 at patreon.com/nightpartypod. It's what keeps this afloat. Right now, this is my only source of income, and this actually is costing me money. But I love doing it, and I love that you listen. We have free trial, so you don't have to commit or anything. Just try it out. If you like it, cool. Keep the app. Keep downloading stuff early and often and ad-free and all that stuff. And if not, go back to the free feed. I'm fine with that, too. Just give it a try. We also have because not only do you get our free show, Knife Party Pod, or Knife Party Podcast, you also get Slimemark X, you get Old Slimemark Radios, you get Knife Party After Dark. We just had a really funny 3-hour long version of Knife Party After Dark. It was hilarious. It was really funny. I may or may not have been on psilocybin. That's for you to find out. I probably was. We also have a $20 tier where you get to request episodes, be on the show, get sweet merchandise. It's basically all access. It's a lot of fun, and that's when you stop the bike. And we just had somebody stop the bike where we have to do Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. A lot of fun, right? Normally I wouldn't do that, but I'm doing it because someone stopped the bike on it, and I'm like, well, it is a cult movie, and it is retro, so kind of maybe I should do it. Excuse me. Anyway. And then I kind of had a half stop the bike on I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's going to be our 4th of July spectacular. So look out for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Anyway, so back to this. I am doing a review on Predator Killer of Killers. Now I know it doesn't really follow my criteria, seeing how it just came out earlier this month. If you're listening in June of 2025, that is. But, I was listening to Corolla Show. And they had Rick Gonzalez, who's one of the voice actors on here, and he was talking it up a little bit. And I did see this was on Hulu, and, I was like, I'm on the fence. It's an animated movie. But then again, I've heard people say, don't just discredit anime movies. Like, for example, a lot of people say that all the Castlevania series on Netflix is like some of the best stuff you'll ever see, anime-wise. I'm like, yeah, but I really don't like anime, which is ironic because I open up with Sharon Apple on Midnight Ramen every week, but anyway, that's besides the point. But he was talking it up, and I was like, all right, I'll listen to it. The guy was a pretty funny guest, too. He's a comic. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. So check this out. This got a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes and an 89 with the popcorn, with the people meter. I know for a fact that the original Predator got a 95. I think it got a 98, actually. And I think Prey came close to it, but I don't think it got a 95. I think Prey got a 94, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I'm going to look that up right now. How about this? Let's see. What did Prey get? Prey got a 94. Boom. I guessed it. Which I think is a better movie, though. I'm giving this a 79. I don't think it's an 80. Because even though it is a very fun movie, it is canon, according to the movie Prey, so I guess it's canon with the Alien or Predator universe. But it gets so anime at the end, I have to knock down points. Like, it becomes far-fetched for a Predator movie. Very far-fetched. It really becomes an anime at the end. So it's in 4 parts. I'll describe each part a little bit. I know probably a lot of people have already done this movie, so I'm just going to kind of give you my thoughts on it. Part 1 is actually my second favorite. Part 1, it feels like you're watching someone play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and not in a bad way. The animation style in this is really weird. So it's kind of blocky and polygony on purpose, or not polygony, like paper mache, like collage style art. All the faces and animation looks great, but it's very choppy. And I think it's choppy on purpose. So the first part takes place in 1800s, and it follows this Viking Valkyrie shield maiden. Her and her son are getting revenge on this warlord who killed her father. So the son's grandfather, right? And so, she's got this reputation for being, a Drugar, which translates literally, because literally means it's recorded, to badass. So she's a full-on, shield maiden Drugar, and she's taken revenge. And the cool thing is, her unique thing is she fights with a shield, so hence this episode's called Shield. So there's 4 episodes, and each one has a little beginning, right? And anyway, so she raids this war camp and devastates everybody with their, and she's got her men with her and her son, and the animation is really good, but you could totally tell whoever the director of this, who, let me look him up, his name, Dan Transberg, Tranchtenberg. Anyway, you could tell if he was the one that did a lot of the direction of animation and not just direction of story. They were very much so influenced by the Assassin's Creed Valhalla game, because some of the fatalities and the kills are like straight out of that game. Also, the art style, obviously it's based off of a real life art style, but when I'm saying that is it has that feel to it, like the way the animation cuts and everything else. It really does feel video gamey. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's very unique, especially with this art style too, being very collage-y looking. Think about like if South Park was done really, really, really good, because it is that kind of style of animation where it's kind of jumpy and cutty and very non-predictable. Anyway, after, she's done, or she's doing what she's doing to the war party camp, right? Then finally a predator comes. There's a predator in each scene. They're all different. So it's not just like you get Jungle Hunter in every single one, right? So you get like this weird predator who also fights kind of like with if you ever played Fallout, it's like a power fist, but it's like it's like a shield that pops out, and it's a big brute. And they fight all throughout, like, the tundra, and finally they have their last stand on this ice floe. And it makes sense to the lore because she falls in the ice floe and then he can't see her. So that's really kind of I did like what they do with the lore in this. In each episode, they kind of have a lore of why, or they take lore from the Predator movies and they put it in this. So you're not just watching a anime that just has the word Predator on it, right? There's actually a lot of stuff in it. In fact, the ending is really good. There's going to be spoilers, by the way. So anyway, after her battle, it looks like she wins, right? But then we see her in a spaceship and she's got like a slave collar on. Anyway, and then we see the person behind her and he's meditating. So we cut to feudal Japan. And this is part two is called The Sword. And there's these two brothers and they're practicing their sword play. And there's a really callback scene with this leaf that falls, and they both like try to hit it in midair, and that's when they clash swords. Now, at a certain point, their warlord father, I don't know who he is. They don't really give him a name. I don't even think he has a line in it. The voice actor here is played by Louis Ozawa, and he's my favorite character in the whole thing. In fact, part 2 is worth watching this whole movie for. If it was just part 2, I would have gave this movie like a 90 at least. It was pretty damn good. So it's a redemption story. So his father gives them actually real weapons, him and his brother. And now they're fighting with real swords. And of course, one of the brothers wins and gives him a scar. Then it says 20 years later, and we see this guy working rice paddies with this scar. And we hear this bell, meaning like the father has passed away, a funeral bell. So he ninjas up. And then he fights his brother, who's now like the samurai feudal lord of the area. And he infiltrates the whole thing. Again, lots of gore, lots of limbs being cut off. And then we get my favorite predator. I'm going to call him like Ninja Predator. I don't know what he is, but he uses a lot of chain. The cool thing about this too is all the weapons are pretty unique. They don't use like the plasma caster or the combat staff or even the smart disc. In this one, the Ninja Predator has a chain, like propulsion thing, kind of like the Scorpion Get Over Here thing, and it's used very creatively. He's also got like a ninja toe that comes out of his blade, and his combo staff is more like a spear that it goes and it turns into like a trident. There's a really cool scene where he impales somebody and then cuts him in half by activating it. So anyway, there's, of course, because it is, like I said, this is Predator anime. They actually fight amongst the rooftops, and it's actually very exciting. It's really, really cool. And then finally, him and his brother actually meet up, and they're about to fight each other, but then they end up fighting the Predator, but then they end up fighting each other. I don't know. It's really cool. Episode 1 is really good. Episode 2 is almost like perfect animated short. I mean, watch it just for that. Part 3, on the other hand, even though it's got the best voice actors, it's got Rick Gonzalez and Michael Biehn, and hell yeah, Michael Biehn is like awesome. But it takes place during World War II, and it's like a dogfight thing. And even though you could tell this is probably the hardest out of all of them to make, and the story is the longest, it's a really I don't see Predators getting in dogfights. It just doesn't seem that, I don't know. It just seems so left field, but also this is kind of what sucks, because even though the story is okay. It'd be better if it wasn't called Predator, I guess. It just kind of threw me. So after then this scene is called Bullet. And I'm leaving a lot of stuff out on purpose because I don't want to give it away. I mean, the movie just came out. Oh yeah, by the way, you can find it on Hulu. It's the only place to find it right now. I'm sure they're going to have a physical release. In fact, I think Hulu would be smart to release all of their originals, meaning Prey, the upcoming Prey 2, and this in like a metal box set. I'd definitely buy that, and I already own Prey, but I think that would be cool. I'd definitely buy that if all of them came in one. Hell yeah, man. Sign me up. In fact, you know what's funny? I don't think I own actually Predator physically, which is odd. I used to own it on DVD and on VHS. I don't even think I have it on Blu-ray, but it doesn't matter. I can close my eyes and play that movie. I've seen it so many damn times. So then we have our Act 4, and our Act 4 is they're all brought to the Predator planet, and they all have to fight to the death, and the winner has to fight the Predator chieftain. Here's where I really have a problem with this part is it's really, even though the animation's good and the death scenes are good, it's very unrealistic to me that when you watch the movie Predators, it's kind of trying to do that, but it's like in a gladiator kind of format. And even though the chieftain Predator looks really cool, like really cool, probably the best Predator design since, I'd say, Feral. No, that's not fair because Feral just came out. It's kind of more like the Predator design from Predator 2 at the very end, the Elder Predators. It's kind of like that, where they look older and have grayish dreadlocks and a lot of bones, like as capes and such. But so they have to fight each other, but then they kind of work together. And then so they're like, all right, let's just kill this Predator. And then there's a lot of spaceship flying and stuff. And that's kind of where it lost me. I was like, really? This is whatever. But it's still worth the watch. It's just definitely part 3. Like this movie, the problem with this movie is it starts off so damn strong and kind of goes downhill after Act 2. Act 3 is okay. Act 4 is just... Act 4 is even really good, but the ending is kind of meh. And, but I will say the way they tie it into Prey, or at least Prey Part 2, which I haven't seen yet because it's not out yet, they actually do have a little Easter egg there to make sure you know it's canon. So final thought on this. I know Midnight Ramens are usually shorter episodes, so I'm just going to wrap it up here. If you have the ability to watch this on Hulu, great. If your friend has Hulu or your girlfriend has Hulu or you know somebody, say, hey, can we watch this movie? It's only an hour and 24 or 27 minutes long, something like that. If you go on Rotten Tomatoes right now, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, or even more. They have like a bunch of the videos that you could actually just kind of watch just to wet your beak a little bit. And like I said, they are very, very good. All the little movies. It's kind of like a creep show with Predator, but animated. And I don't mean animated like, Batman. I mean like animated. Most of the Predators look cool, except for the first one. I think it looks a little unimagined. Like it looks too much like a gorilla. And I think that's another reason why I didn't want to watch this at first, is like the teaser shows it and it doesn't look cool. The second one is what they actually should have used. Even though it says here, yeah, that's trailer 1 is actually the second part. So yeah, anyway, there you go. Predator, Killer of Killers, definitely check it out. Came out June 6th, so you might as well watch it now. It's probably going to be on Hulu for a while. If you have Disney Plus, it's also on there. I don't think there's going to be a physical release. You never know, though. It's getting a lot of reviews. A lot of people are talking about it online. I just thought I would sit down and talk to you about it for a minute. And there you go. Well, if you like what you heard here, remember, go to the Patreon. There's a lot more. Remember, like, subscribe, and all that other stuff. I don't even know what that does for me. I know I'm supposed to say it. And yeah, and if you're on the free feed, let me just tell you what's come up around the bend. Of course, we have our Know What You Did Last Summer is going to be our our 4th of July special episode. We also have in the pipe, we have our Freddy vs. Jason. Now, for you Patreon members, you're going to get a director's cut with before and after banter. And that's what I did, of course, with The Real Kevin Smith and Suns and Shadows podcast featuring Jeff. Not Jeff, Jeff, the tech who makes sure all the possible, but they're Jeff. They have a Jeff, too. I think every podcast has a Jeff. We also got Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Natural Born Killers. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm out of breath because I'm just trying to do this really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and hit pause. Love you guys so much. Remember, be kind, rewind, be ethical to each other. And I think I have to return some videotapes. Oh, yeah. And I failed to mention the soundtrack of this is actually really quite good as well. Because, of course, it's just recycled from the other Predator movies, but redone a little bit. So, yeah, go check it out. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I give it a 79. Maybe if I watch it again, I might even bump it up. Because it's just, yeah, like that. I'm telling you, that third and fourth part just do not stand up to the first two. But it's still worth watching. So go check it out. Yeah. Anyway, there you are. See ya. Oh, yeah. One more thing. I read in every and all emails at knifepartypod@yahoo.com because I keep it old school. All right. Good night.